Hi THP, this is Jersey Nate. I wanted to do a video recap for both my teammates on Team Paradise, but also for my matches on Saturday and Sunday. Um, Seeing people on video just talking and gushing with their emotions, Mike, Neb, Adam, everybody that's done video recaps. They really hit home. Both written and videos hit home, but there's something about seeing your brother, your Morgan Cup brother, speak from his heart that just really gets me. Gets to me even more. But before I ramble on too much, I wanted to first recap the matches. Saturday morning, I woke up and it was just this storm, like everybody, I think, was feeling in their stomachs, a storm of butterflies, nerves, excitement, not knowing what kind of bounces we were going to get, what kind of tee shot, well, first off, what kind of tee shot we're going to hit off of the first tee with, on camera and with a lot of people watching, I'll skip the range part of it that morning. Saturday and Sunday mornings were nice, but stepping on that first tee on Saturday, on 10 True Blue, and not really feeling as nervous until Morgan called out my name, and I put the the tee in the ground, and wow, it's just an almost indescribable feeling. Just my hands were shaking, my legs were shaking, trying to calm myself down and trying to just focus on hitting that little yellow ball. Just contact. I told myself and I ended up striping it, and then my partner Matt striped it even further, way past me. He kills that driver. My goodness. And off we went. That first hole really got me. The nerves were real tough for me on the first hole. I ended up sculling a wedge over the green into a bush uh, behind the green and taking my max triple, and just feeling like I let my partner Matt down. And that's just one thing that I know I need to work on as a player, is my confidence. Tim, wicked cool bearded man, really singled me out on our practice round in terms of my confidence, and he knew straight away that I could use a shot in the arm, and I still do. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to that. But playing with Neb and Wardy, that was, for as inconsistent as I was hitting it that day, it was such a pleasure. It was a pleasure to first off see Wardy, Neb, and Matt hit some amazing shots. And Neb and Wardy just played ham and egg golf. Fairway green. Wardy kills those SLDR irons. I mean, he hit a freaking pitching wedge 155 yards over a green. I'm like, are you kidding me? Little man has a lot of power. And Neb, oh my goodness, he he played so consistently, not only in our match but throughout the tournament. And want to congratulate both of them and all the rest of Team.com for a wonderful and hard fought and well deserved victory. Really, really cool to see you guys with the cup, even though, of course, it's bittersweet for all the rest of us, but still, it really was a joy to watch those guys on Saturday morning. And I think most memorable shot that I made on Saturday morning was on the 18th. I was happy that we started on the back nine because I wanted to be able to play 18 in competition, and I hit this 3/4 50 degree from about 100 yards. Hit it so pure. I thought it was going to spin more, but I hit it pure. I hit it to try and hit that backstop that the pin was on the in the middle, just front middle of the green, and hit the backstop, and that rain that we had on Friday just made the ball just stick there. And I'm like, oh, could have been even better, but it was still around 8-9 feet above the hole, which is tricky putt to putt. But I loved hearing Matt go, be the right one, be the right club, and I really, really I hit it well, and my driver on Saturday was great. Probably the best driving I've done in a long time. Straight, maybe a little slight fade, but I barely missed a fairway on Saturday, both at True Blue and Caledonia with my driver. But yeah, Matt was an amazing partner in the morning round. He just kept on me, not in a good way. He kept saying, pick yourself up after a bad shot, and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, breathe, just have a good time out there. And even though I probably outwardly displayed a lot of frustration at myself, I really did enjoy that experience. It's something that this competition golf, especially with all friends of mine, all family to me now, it really, really one of the best times of my life. And I wasn't posting good scores. I mean, I wasn't lighting the world on fire, but still, it was an absolutely wonderful experience. When when Wardy and Neb closed out, it was wonderful just to give them bro hugs on the green and be able to have that interview, closeout interview, just talking about the game, talking about each other, talking about how much we enjoyed the experience. And again, I'm sort of repeating myself, but unscripted, just trying to talk it all out, hash it all out. Still in a little bit of a state of numbness that it's over. But on to the afternoon, Saturday afternoon, with my buddy Jordan, smith-faced. We were playing Johnny Mojo, Johnny freaking Fairway, and Trevor, TNT Cigar Guy. I thought that we had a little more time than we did, but we ended up having to rush to the first tee, and Jordan was up on the tee, and Josh makes the comment of the day to Jordan right on that first tee, and I still just about how Jordan's about 50 years too young for me. that was that was priceless, and I own it. And I'm really, really have to thank everybody, all my THP family, and everybody who was there, um, for supporting me in who I am. And um, it really, I really appreciate it. Okay, collect yourself. Um, anyway, the morning match, not the morning, the afternoon match. Um, Jordan had just come off an incredible uh, one-up victory in his morning match with Christian against Dean and J-Man, and it might have taken a little bit of a toll mentally on him, but I could tell that he was just still trying to find himself in that afternoon match in the beginning. Um, he told me in the cart that he was having a little bit of a tough time getting back into that competitive mindset, and I completely understood. Um, that morning match was one for the ages that he was a part of, and he hit a couple shots. OB in the early going, I hit a couple stinkers. Jordan and I just really, if we were both bringing our A games or even our B games, um, things might have been different, but it's one of those things where ultimate shot's tough. It really exposes weaknesses, and it exposes who's playing the better golf for that day. And when Jordan hit a great shot, and he hit many, um, I wouldn't follow it up. And when I hit one, Jordan might not have been able to follow it up. And so it was, yeah, it was a bit frustrating, but at the same time, we had opposite. We had, Johnny Mojo and TNT Cigar Guy Trevor. They kept it light. We all did. We all tried to. It was an absolute honor to play with those guys, and they executed brilliantly in both the first 9 and the second 9 holes. Our second 9, we were a little more focused, I think. At least I know that I was trying to eke out a point for the day, and we would be going. We were one down from the on 10, and then the par 3 11th, I believe, was up, and Jordan hit it just into the right rough above the hole, about maybe, I'd say, 20 feet to the hole. And Johnny and Trevor were in a little bit of a trouble, and they took a couple shots to be short of the hole, and Trevor looked like he was about to concede the hole to us, but then he said, you know what, Nate, why don't you just chip it? And as inconsistently I had been playing, I would have done the same thing. I could have easily bladed or left the chip there or been underneath it or sculled it or whatever. And so I said, okay, yeah, I'll chip it. And with a group on the tee box, I ended up hitting an absolute perfect chip that rolled, tracked, and went right into the hole. And I got a nice reaction from my playing partners as well as the guys on the tee box behind. It was wonderful to have that kind of a spurt, that kind of a moment in our match. And we'd go. So that was for all square, and then we were one up, one down again in the next hole, and again it was just one of those things where Trevor and Johnny were the pictures of consistency throughout that afternoon. And it's tough in alternate shot when you're not bringing, when I wasn't bringing my best game, especially to see that kind of driving consistency. And they closed us out, and but it was another pleasure. Those guys were great, and I couldn't say have any more praise for my partner, Jordan. He's a great guy. He was a little quiet in the course that afternoon, and I sort of didn't know whether to try and pick him up or just to let him have his process. And I think I wanted to let him have his process, which was good. And it was just still a pleasure to hear him chatting it up with all of us when we were waiting, having fun with some of the groups when we were waiting in the later going in the afternoon match. It was just a lot of fun, a lot of fun. But it hurt me not to be able to eke out a point for Team Paradise. I did feel like I let my team down a little bit, considering how much I'd been trying to work on my game. But anyway, on to Sunday. Of course, I knew from Friday night that I was to be paired with Johnny, paired against Johnny Mojo, and paired with Cookie and Wardy. And how that turned out to be an awesome spectacle, as you all know. But that morning, I felt on the range. I just worked on iron stuff. I worked on just general swing, trying to slow myself down, not to let the adrenaline get a hold of me, let the nerves get a hold of me, and see what I could do. I knew Johnny wasn't going to miss a fairway. He barely did on his afternoon. I don't think he did actually, but I knew he wasn't going to miss a fairway. I knew his ball striking had been great. So I knew it was going to be a tough task, and it turned out to be a very, very tough task. Probably one of the hardest stretches I've gone through personally in my golf game in a while, but also one of the most telling to myself. I got closed out quite early, actually, in the Sunday matchup. Closed out, I believe it was 8-6, with Johnny winning the first 9 holes. And when during this entire process, I was riding in the cart with Wardy, who and trying to get some energy, trying to get some spark. From especially just watching the battle that was Ward versus Cookie. I was trying to get a spark. I was trying to spur myself to hit some nice shots, hit some decent shots, make Johnny play. And I knew that I knew that Johnny wanted me to play well. And what a guy. I can't, wow. What a guy. Every time I hit a bad shot, and there were many in the Sunday round, you can't go 9 down through 9 and dormy on 9 without hitting some pretty pretty stupidly awful shots. But he was always there. Say, pick it up, pick yourself up, breathe. You'll do better on the next hole. You'll there's always the next hole. There's always the next shot. Focus. And Johnny, that really meant a lot to me. I went dormy. Well, Johnny went dormy on me on 9, and I was a mess. I was a wreck mentally, and you guys, a lot of you guys know I wear my emotions on my face. I can't hide them. It's one thing where it's like sometimes I wish I could, but I can't hide them, and I could tell that it was affecting Johnny, and it was affecting my playing partners, and I know I shouldn't apologize for anything, but I wanted to give you a better match, Johnny. I really did. But it just wasn't to be. But when Johnny went dormy on 9, the thought and process in my head was just, you are not going to go out of this Morgan Cup without winning a single hole on Sunday singles. You're not going to do it. And so I step up on 10. I hit a decent drive, bit of a fade to the left, but as we know, the fairway's pretty open over there, so I was in the short stuff. But then I hit a pretty poor 5-wood, chunked it into the bunkers that were in the middle, guarding for long tee shots or bad second shots off that par 5, and just trying to keep myself in there, trying to not think about this could be it. This could be the end of your Morgan Cup. And I hit a wedge out of the bunker, a good one, finally, to a nice easy wedge distance, and wedged it onto the green. Johnny hit a nice second shot layup, and I think he just hit a little bit of a chunky third shot, and I had a par putt to win the hole, and just missed it, went about 4 feet by. Johnny missed his bogey putt, and I knew that he wasn't going to give me that 4-footer. The way, again, I wouldn't have either. Again, it was just one of those things where I just had to breathe, focus on my line, pick my spot, roll into the cup, and it did. So I got my hole. And then stepping up on 11, clubbed up a bit because of wind at par 3, and I hit a nice draw to about maybe, I'd say 15 feet above the hole, and I think the cameras were rolling because I saw it in the back of the green. And if the cameras catch what I say, it's not safe for work or anything, but I hit the shot, and as soon as I hit the shot and I saw the ball flight, I said, where has this been all day? It was a nice draw to the middle of the green, safe, and Johnny ended up hitting one short into the bunkers, short of the green, and Had a little trouble getting out of the bunker, which was atypical, not typical of Johnny that day. He was hitting bunker shots like a machine, like a madman all day. When he got into those bunkers, it was again a beauty to watch. His game, you've come a long way, and he ended up conceding the hole, and I'm like, okay, got 2 holes in a row. Maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe the impossible was going to happen. Maybe I was gonna win a few and maybe close it out all square. But I had an opportunity on 12 that I was in the woods with a pretty routine punch out. View of the green. Just wanted to punch it out safely, and Johnny was a little bit short in the fringe, and I knew that I had to make a good shot here to extend my time in competition at the Morgan Cup, but I think just the nerves got to me, and hit it, pulled it just a little bit, and that little bit was just enough to catch a tree, bounce it back. And then I rushed my next shot and hit another tree, and my Morgan Cup was over. My competition Morgan Cup was over, not the experience, but it was a really tough way to end for me. Johnny played his heart out and played lights out, and completely whooped me and tore me a new one. Really, he did. But all the while, Johnny, Cookie, and Wardy, they all were rooting for me, even when I just was putting an absolute stinker out there. They rooted for me. They told me to pick it up. Pick your head up. Keep going. And that the closeout interview, it's just me talking to Mike, I believe. And I think it was just numb. The emotions were there. They were starting to hit. I was trying to hold them back. But, not getting a point for my team the entire Morgan Cup kind of hurt. And by kind of, I mean very. Hurt a lot. But I quickly, as it turned out, was snapped back into reality. The reality of how amazing, how great this experience was, and how absolutely special the competition could be when I witnessed Cookie's hole out, hole in one on 14. It was just goosebumps. I was down in the dumps after my match, and Cookie hits this absolutely perfect pitching wedge right in the hole, and we all freak out. J-Man bum rushes him, and we all followed. Bum rushed him on the tee. Hugs, pats on the back. That was awesome to watch. And later on, seeing Cookie and Wardy walking down 18, it just, you couldn't help but to applaud. You couldn't help but to cheer them on, because that's the Morgan Cup. That is what the Morgan Cup was. it wasn't about how I'd played. It wasn't about um, my confidence or my lack thereof. Uh, it wasn't about the fact that I couldn't get a point. It was about all 40 of us. And seeing people come into 18, special, absolutely special. So to wrap up the match recap, I want to thank my playing partners, Matt Maynard and Jordan Smith-Faced. You guys are brothers to me. And even though I might have not been playing my best, it was an absolute honor to play with you both. And it was an absolute honor to play against Morty, Neb, TNT Cigar Guy, Trevor, Johnny Mojo, and to play alongside Cookie. It was awesome. It was a special. I keep using the same adjectives and you know, I can't find any more words. It was just one of the experiences of my lifetime, and I want to thank you all for making that possible. And I want to thank Josh, Morgan, the volunteers, and all of you staffers that made this the best Morgan Cup ever. So I'll be back with a recap for Team Paradise, especially. But see you later.